Have you ever felt that you're being watched, even when you're completely alone? That's what I thought when I first moved into the old house at the end of Maple Street. I had just gotten a new job in a small town and needed a place to stay. The rent was almost too cheap, but the house was big and had character. It was old, but something about it felt off. From the very first night, I noticed something strange. The house was too quiet. At first, I thought it was just me adjusting to the new place. But then I started hearing things. Not normal old house noises like creaking floors or pipes, but whispering. It was faint, almost like a breath in the wind. It would come from the walls, the ceiling, even the floorboards beneath my feet. But whenever I tried to focus on the sound, it stopped. Then I started to notice something even weirder. At night, as I lay in bed, I would get this overwhelming feeling that I was being watched. No matter what I did, I couldn't shake it. I checked the windows, the closets, even under my bed. Nothing. But I knew something was there. Something that didn't want me to know it was watching. One night I decided to search the house. I had to prove to myself that it was all in my head. I checked every corner, every hallway, every closet. Nothing. But then, in the attic, I found something strange. A door. A door that wasn't on the original floor plan. It was small, barely big enough for a person to fit through, and it was locked from the inside. I stood there staring at it, my hand hovering over the handle. My heart was pounding, but I knew I had to open it. I went to the garage, grabbed a crowbar, and forced it open. Inside was a tiny hidden room. The walls were lined with hundreds of photographs. Photographs of me. Every moment since I had moved in. Brushing my teeth, eating breakfast, sleeping in my bed. Some of them were taken from angles that should have been impossible, like from inside the walls. I felt sick. I wasn't alone in this house. I ran downstairs, grabbed my phone, and called the landlord. I needed answers. The phone rang and rang until finally he picked up. "You opened the door, didn't you?" he said before I could speak. His voice was shaking. I stammered. "Who's been watching me? Who's living in my walls?" But what he said next was worse than I ever could have imagined. "No one is living in your walls," he whispered. "The house is." I didn't understand at first, but then he told me the truth. The house wasn't abandoned when he bought it. It was empty, yes, but not abandoned. The people who lived there before never left. They just became part of the house. The whispers I heard, they were voices of the house itself. The feeling of being watched, the house was watching me. The photographs, the house had eyes. I ran for the door. I had to get out. But the house wouldn't let me. The walls began to shift. The door stretched further and further away, as if the hallway itself was growing. The floorboards buckled under my feet, and the air grew thick, heavy, and suffocating. Then the whispers turned into screams. Not just one, but dozens of voices, all crying out at once. Some begged me to help them, others laughed, but most just screamed. I turned back toward the hidden room, and my stomach dropped. The photographs, they had changed. They no longer showed me in my house. They showed me running. They showed me screaming. And the last photograph, it showed me disappearing. I don't remember what happened after that. One moment, I was running. The next, everything was dark. The police found my house empty the next morning. No furniture, no photos, no sign that anyone had ever lived there. My phone was found on the floor, still recording a call with my landlord. I was gone, and a week later the house was listed for rent again. Have you ever felt that you're being watched, even when you're completely alone? Because someone or something is always watching, and maybe, just maybe, it's waiting for you